What is up? Hope all is well. Here we are, another beautiful day and another video. Today's topic, I want to talk about how to look and feel younger as you age. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey Joe, why the heck would I want to listen to you? Well, I do have the answer to that, and there's two main reasons you might want to listen to me on this subject. Reason number one, and I am quite proud of this. This is an occurrence that often happens in my life, and kind of when I'm out and about, strolling around in this big beautiful world here, I often get told that I look much younger than I look. Sorry guys, I look much younger than I am. And I must admit, when that happens, it definitely feels really good. And that's basically been happening my whole adult life, so I definitely have some experience in how to look younger. I will say reason number two, more important than reason number one, is this is kind of the simple answer on how to look and feel younger. And that basically is, you need to be as healthy as you possibly can be. So you could end this video right now. The most important thing for looking and feeling younger is to be as healthy as you can. And that is, again, where I come in, guys, where you might want to listen to me about the subject. I can drop you a lot of knowledge when it comes to health, fitness, and wellness, and looking and feeling as young as you possibly can. And let's be honest, who out there doesn't want to look and feel younger? Just to let you guys know, I've been into health, nutrition, and fitness almost my whole life. It is one of my biggest life's passions. So I'm not just some random dude throwing out a bunch of random crap out here. And also, just so you know a little bit more about my knowledge on this subject, I did really start digging into health and nutrition probably a good 15 plus years ago. I started developing some issues. Found out I had some genetic heart conditions and stuff like that. So I've been digging deep, trying to learn to be as healthy of a person as I possibly can be. So I've been heavy in on the research for many years at this point. Now, looking and feeling younger, I've been talking about health. That is obviously the most important, but it is also how you present yourself, how you dress, your hair, your teeth, stuff like that. So we will kind of talk about that a little bit as well. I'm probably more of an expert when it comes to health than I am on fashion. But long story short, guys, when it comes to looking younger, you know, for a guy, if your hair is receding or something like that, a hat can knock off a couple few years. Sometimes you got the gray stuff coming in. By the way, if I didn't tell you guys, I am 51 years old. I would tell you guys, if you have gray, don't color the gray. Because you know who colors their hair? Old people. Old guys color their hair. And obviously, old ladies color their hair as well. Yes, obviously, a lot of young ladies out there color their hair, highlight their hair. But that's a whole different story than what I'm talking about. So when you're out there walking around with fake color or a whole head of fake color, you know, that can age you a little bit. And obviously, gray hair might give away that you're a bit older, but that's okay. And speaking of looking and feeling better as we age, here's another thing. Sometimes you're gonna look 50 if you're 50, but you don't necessarily have to look younger, though that is a bonus. But there's nothing wrong with looking 50, but looking really good at 50. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you'll see somebody and you'll be like, yeah, they're 50, she's 50, he's 50. But man, look at them. They got a body of a 30-year-old. So even though this video is talking about how to look and feel younger as we age, even if you look and feel better at whatever your age is. So yes, this video topic is how to look and feel younger as we age. But hey, it's also about looking good at your age, even if you still look your age. If any of that makes sense. I was gonna jump into the health part of this video first. as that is kind of where my expertise lies. But I think we're going to jump to the fun part first, which is how we dress, how we present ourselves, and stuff like that. Now, I've learned a lot of this stuff myself, many years digging around online and stuff. I follow many health influencers. I follow a lot of lifestyle influencers and stuff like that. And the subject often comes up, how to dress and present yourself as we age. The number one thing you want to do when you present yourself and you're trying to look younger, don't try too hard. And I gotta say, all this ties into each other, because obviously the fitter you are, the leaner you are, the more muscle you have, the younger you're gonna look, the better your clothes are gonna fit, stuff like that. But I guess let's get into it for dudes, seeing I'm a dude. Some of you guys out there are a bit challenged in the hair department. A hat that can often knock off a couple years, as I mentioned earlier. A lot of times as you age, you want to keep a shorter haircut. Obviously you can experiment yourself, but that generally works the best for most people, most men. You can put one of these on your face, cover a lot of your older skin, get a good beard going. So if you look at me here, I got big glasses, a hat, a lot of hair on my face, covering up as much as I can, basically. And you know where I learned all that from? From the rock band ZZ Top, from the great state of Texas, guys. Look at the lead guy there. He's got a hat down to here. He's got big old shades on, big old beard, scarves and stuff. They basically cover their bodies and dress a certain way, and it becomes hard to tell what their actual age is, because them guys, they're pushing 80, I would say, mid-70s, something like that. Now, obviously, most of us aren't going to walk around dressed like ZZ Top, right? But to look younger, you know, keep your face clean, keep your beard trimmed nice, have an assortment of different hats, have some cool shades, cool specs, keep your teeth as best as possible. I slack on my teeth a little more than I probably should, but teeth are important. If you got bad visible teeth, that is going to age you big time. Obviously, some nice white teeth help with looking younger as well. Of course, you don't want your teeth glowing from a mile away. That would mean you're trying too hard, and that never looks right. You want it all to blend seamlessly, like it belongs there. And of course, good hygiene is good for keeping you look younger. You want to take care of everything, trim everything, make sure everything is clean. If you're a dude, you don't have to go completely over the top, as come on, you're still a man, be a man. And then heck, let's move on to how you dress and how you present yourself that way. It's pretty simple. Number one, you want the clothes to fit nicely. You start wearing oversized clothes, that can age you. If you're wearing stuff way too tight, that can definitely age you. And unfortunately, guys, this is where being out of shape is kind of a deterrent when it comes to looking younger. And of course, as a lot of you guys know, when you're overweight, carrying extra pounds on you, well, our clothing just doesn't fit as good as it should. So what do we gotta do? Sometimes we gotta buy bigger clothes than we're actually meant for, but we have all that extra weight we gotta cover and be comfortable, so we end up buying the bigger clothes, things that just don't fit right. And that definitely does not make you look younger. Do you ever notice maybe sometimes you got a few extra LBs and you're out there buying t-shirts, and you got to get a big enough t-shirt so it covers your gut and your back and stuff like that. But what happens? Next thing you know, the t-shirt sleeve is down to your freaking elbow, very big around, not up against your bicep. And here's the thing, guys, a nice fitting t-shirt, you want the sleeve to be about mid bicep, something like that, and kind of snug on your arm. And if you could fit into a t-shirt that way, you would definitely look much younger, because frankly, that's how the t-shirts fit when we were in our teens and 20s. Now we live in a world where once we get mid-20s into our 30s, we start putting on the extra pounds, and we think of that as normal. Kind of the normal stages of aging. And unfortunately, that is not the case, guys. That is happening because of this modern society we are living in, where we basically hammer down and consume a lot of things that we should not be consuming. So to make a long story short, it is probably more about the shape we are in than the actual clothes we are wearing. But yes, it is important. Wear clothes that fit right. Keep decent clothes. You don't want to be all ragged and stuff like that. Update your clothing once in a while so it's not too outdated looking. Keep clean, keep nice and trim. And that's about it, guys. As of women, I guess it's kind of the same thing. I'm probably not an expert on the women's side of things here, but take care of yourself. Try being in the best shape as possible. Wear clothes that fit. Keep yourself clean and presentable. Update wardrobe here and there. You don't have to spend all your money on clothes, obviously, because looking and feeling young is definitely a lot more than what you're putting on your body, guys. Because in the end, guys, what is the most important part of looking and feeling young is what we put inside of our bodies and what we expose ourselves to. And that is where my expertise lies, guys. Simple. Get healthy. Sure, it's simple, but it's not always easy, is it? By the way, guys, look at this beautiful small town I live in here. A gorgeous spring day, a great day for a walk. Oh, hey, speaking of walks, you know what is good for looking and feeling younger as we age? Getting your butts out there and walking every day. Unless you want to push it a little more extreme, that is great as well. Personally, my heart conditions hold me back a touch, so I mostly do walking and hiking and stuff like that. I would definitely say daily exercise is key to looking and feeling younger as we age. But here's the thing, guys, we can't lollygag when it comes to exercise, especially as we are aging, because we lose it a lot quicker. So if I'm being honest, we got to work that much harder the older we get, actually. The good thing about exercise, I mean, you got to go at least an hour every day. I would even shoot for more than that, especially as you get older. Only one problem: as you get older, you are more prone to injury, so you got to be careful what you are doing. You don't want to pound your body and hurt yourself. So you need to be selective on your exercise choices. If you haven't been much of a runner in the past, that might be something you want to avoid, because frankly, your joints will not hold up. If you have been a runner much of your life, you're probably more conditioned for that, and you might be fine. Personally, I think it's hard to beat walking and hiking. I mean, it's generally fairly easy on your body, but you don't want it too easy. You definitely want to fatigue yourself when you're out there doing it. Don't always take the easy route. Don't always avoid the hills. Some days you might want to avoid the hills, but you got to hit them sometimes. Because the only way to make your body stronger is you got to put it through distress. Otherwise, you're not going to make gains. And the only way to look and feel younger is you got to keep your body making gains, or at least holding steady where it is. The goal here is to slow down the aging process. Here's the thing, also very important. This has been coming out a lot in recent years, and a lot of people swear by this, but the number one most important thing we can do, according to quite a few people out there, especially as we get older, you know, in our 50s and 60s and above, is we need to build muscle. We need to muscle train, because having muscle is the secret to having a longer life. And of course, when you have muscle, you have a better physique, which in turn makes you look and feel younger. So what do we do to look and feel younger? It's pretty simple, yet of course it's not easy, but you want to get to an ideal weight. You want to see if you can get some muscle. How do you get there? You get there through proper diet and proper body movement. And you got to be consistent. You got to show up every day. The older you get, consistency is more important, because the more you cheat as you age, it's going to be a lot harder to get where you're going. No, I didn't plan it this way, I somehow saved the most important part for the end of this video. And that is what we consume and what we subject ourselves to as it comes to learning and stuff like that. Now I can talk about health and nutrition for hours and hours. So I got to figure out a way to keep this kind of to the point. Otherwise it can get way too long here. Here's the thing. You got to eat the best diet you possibly can. Unfortunately, there's so many variations of what people are telling us. And here's one thing I always tell people. One thing that I know for sure is, well, we don't know shit about anything. But I'll give you the short answer here. Most health, nutrition, wellness folks will agree on everything I'm going to say right here. Basically, you want to eat food to as close to natural as possible. What does that mean? Well, you kind of got to think like Mother Nature. Or maybe if you're a God-fearing person, you want to think, what did God put on this earth for us to eat? And the further you get away from those, the more harm it's probably going to do and the less healthy it will be. I always kind of look at it like this. If you were dropped off in the middle of the wilderness, far away from any farming, far away from modern society, what would we eat? What would we hunt and forage? And that answer is pretty easy if you think about it. We would hunt and kill big game animals. We would probably do some fishing. We would do some foraging, mostly finding seasonal berries and stuff like that. So the closer you can eat to that, the younger you're gonna look, the younger you're gonna feel, the healthier you will be. Unfortunately, this world is stacked against us when it comes to trying to live a healthy life. Walk into a grocery store, walk into any convenience store, and look around. What do you see? All you see is pure, harmful garbage. And it is unfortunate. Most people are eating that stuff. So you don't have a chance in hell. You walk into a store, there's candy bars, sodas, chips, cakes, donuts, everything that is slowly killing you, slowly giving you inflammation, slowly making you overweight, slowly giving men and boys freaking man titties. Come on, guys. If you want to age yourself in a hurry, grow a set of man titties. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but come on, guys. You gotta know something's going on when that starts happening. We live in a world where a grocery store has 60,000 products for sale. And I would say almost every one of those products are detrimental to our health. All those products in there, they are aging us much faster than we should be aging. And the hard part is, even a lot of products that we think or we were taught are supposedly healthy, they completely are not healthy. Here's a fun one, guys. You ever go into a grocery store and there is a health aisle? If there's a health aisle in the grocery store, what are all the other aisles? I'm also here to tell you what you see in them health aisles. Well, 95% of that stuff is not healthy either. If you're out there in this world, you're eating candy bars, you're drinking soda, you're pounding down white bread. If you're drinking and boozing and smoking, you're just setting yourself up to age faster and faster than you would otherwise. Some of you folks out there, you're fine with that. You want to get drunk. You want to eat a piece of cake. And if you look old and fat because of it, so be it. If you die 10 years younger than you would have otherwise, so be it. You think you're enjoying life and living life. But if you haven't gone full on health and cut all that crap out, eat a natural diet, lose some weight, build a little muscle, you can't really say your way is better. Because until you try the natural way, you might quickly change your mind once you get to that point. And here's the thing, guys. You might bust your ass and get healthy, and something might take you out anyway. It's kind of like playing Russian roulette, life in general. life is kind of an odds game. To me, the more healthy stuff you put in your body, you got better odds of living a longer, healthier life. The more crap you put in your body, your odds become less and less of living a long, healthy life. Hopefully I didn't drag this video on too long. I'm gonna cut it off here. Let's go over the simple basics. You wanna look and feel healthier as you age. Health is number one. Get healthy. Eat clean. Move your body every day. And you gotta be consistent. And you gotta show up every day. And you gotta put in the work. I could have probably just said that. And that kind of explains the whole video as a whole. In the end, guys, I am out here getting my miles in for the day. This walking stuff, I love it. Makes me feel great. Opens up my lungs. I breathe better. And I definitely recommend this to anybody. And I recommend you try doing it almost every day if you can. On that note, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna let you go. I got more miles to get in here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.